the 30th episode of The Messy Middle. I'm told by a vote that Frank lost that we have to do a little intro of what The Messy Middle is after 30 episodes in for any new viewers that we might have. So The Messy Middle is I don't like saying podcast, but I guess it's a podcast with Frank, Teddy, and myself. We are three post-exited founders that are on our journey of figuring out what we want to work on next. The three of us have different backgrounds, viewpoints, and skill sets. And we're also in three different locations, as well as three different situations where Frank has I would say quasi full-time role at a startup while figuring out what's next. Teddy has a full-time role at his startup in New York, moving from Europe over to New York. And myself, I'm kind of figuring it out as we go, doing some fun little projects as I sold my last project at the end of last year and figuring out this messy middle together, the three of us.
If I can add to that, I would just say, again, for anyone who joined us, the goal is to help people to navigate, what happened after you do an exit. And we also invite people. So we're kind of trying to cover everything. So you'll get our own experience, what we're dealing with. We invite people. We're looking for people. Like, don't hesitate to reach out if you know anyone who has done an exit. And even if you're not in a messy middle anymore, we're curious to capture what was this process. And, we're here to help. We're very genuine, as you can tell. And let's start. So what do we talk about today?
Not always talking about, we talk about the post-exit journey, but we also talk about a bunch of other things which are our lives, giving updates. So it's not necessarily scripted or like anything like that.
There are no scripts.
Really, come here, watch it, you get
there
help.
There are no scripts.
You may end up hearing a lot about, Vietnam or geography or how we want to travel, things like that. So it's not necessarily like scripted in that sense.
I wonder where people listen to us. Is like you listen to us in the car, taking a shower, falling asleep. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully to wake up. It's a great podcast to wake up.
Getting a massage. I don't really know. So usually
we have a weird audience. We have a tiny audience, but it's like the 0.0001%. So I'm really curious to know. If you guys can comment, actually, I'd be curious to know about that. What do you do?
Yes, well, yeah. I'd be curious to learn as well. Okay, so our 30th celebration, we're halfway into this year. Basically next month is June. We started in November of last year. And I think what we want to discuss, like everyone around the world who I'm assuming is thinking about, other than if they're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's the summer coming up. Like, yes, we are entrepreneurs and we stress and sweat and are worried about money and achieving our goals, but it is nice to have a little bit of a break during the summer and get your summer prep plans going. And so I think our take on this is less of where to go, like Saint-Tropez, and more of how to navigate sort of the summer with fundraising, with your ideas, with your creative energy. And I like to say it's a little bit of a recharge for me. But I also can argue that, some of my best messy middles at the end of that summer, then I was going through the messy middle, I came up with my next idea. Is that a good way to kind of get things started off, Teddy, Frank?
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, where do people go, like if they live in Saint-Tropez during the summer, where would they go, like for the summer? Frank, maybe you know that.
No, but to me, my first reaction is I have no idea what you guys are talking about. It's like, to me, I feel like I live outside of time to a point that sometimes I don't know, what day it is. Is it a weekend? Is it a holiday? I can just take holiday wherever I fuck I want. And sorry, I shouldn't say the F word on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. Pardon my French.
You've said it plenty of times before on our podcast.
It's because of South Park. I've been watching that too much. But yeah, to me, I'd be curious to know how you guys do that, but sure, it's like up and down with business. Like, for example, in France, when it's summer, people go on holidays, so have less employees working. There's business slowing down, but I don't take holidays based on activity. I take holidays based on, I don't know, whenever I can. Or also, I guess I don't really take holidays. I'm just going to be like, you know what, let's go to work from Costa Rica for a month, and I can organize around that. To me, the nice thing about being an entrepreneur is the freedom. But after that, yeah, sure. If my friends are traveling during summer and I need to travel to see them, I'll do it. So anyway, so curious to know, you guys still have holidays and like normal rhythm like everybody else? Tell me about it.
About this. The holidays for me are just like it's getting quiet, and it's good time for me to work on things. But every once in a while, I would love to be like other human beings and just go somewhere.
Something else. Then you have to drop entrepreneurship and join the joy of being an employee, which is fine. Again, like if someone wants to do that, but it's. I think it's impossible for me. It's
those two extremes. I think it's a lot of in the middle.
I don't think it's that much. Yeah, I think it's quite a.
But is your logic
world.
Is that there's low activities going on, and so it's a good, yeah.
My logic is that there is low activity going on with everyone else that you're interacting with, unless you're in the hottest space in the world. So I'll give you the example is if you're going to go raise money during the summer, you better not be raising money during the summer unless it's like an AI company. And you can always raise money. Like any of us here, we all have examples of when we've raised money during the summer and it's gone well. So like for me, I raised money in July and August of 2017, which was the crazy crypto token ICO
so you
phase.
See, like exactly my point.
But if I was not doing a crypto token business,
but it's always the same. It's always the same. It's like whatever you're working on. If it's not the hottest thing, then maybe you're misaligned. But I mean, my guess is a lot of people in the messy middle must be working on AI stuff, and it's always going to be a good time to raise. And on my end, what we're going to be doing with my other startup is we're going to start pitching in July, August, or not to raise but to get the first meeting. So when we come back in September and October, we have a story to tell.
Who's gonna be there to pitch your idea to? Because I think like my round fell apart a couple of years ago because of not me not working at that time, but because other people were just like elsewhere, like vacationing, and they wouldn't take calls, they wouldn't move faster enough, and it's
I know. I mean, that would be the case in France, but I mean, I'd be surprised in the US if VCs wouldn't take calls in summer.
In the US,
oh no, it's absolutely in the US. I don't know if you haven't raised money in the last few years, Frank, but like everybody starts their clock. Yeah, they start their clock in July and August, and in fact, after this past weekend, which is Memorial Day here, the clock is like, look, we're going to look at deals during the summer, but unless it fits a very small, focus of what they have, they're going to take the meetings, but there's no seriousness. And then it's like, oh, well, our partners they're in the Hamptons.
You pitch now and you close in September or something like that. But okay. Well, no, I don't know. It's just like, I guess the low activity. But anyway, to me, I go back to what I was saying, which is I don't really feel any rhythm. I feel like detached from the normal world. If tomorrow I want to take, to be fair, I'm trying to think about when's the last time I took holidays, and I don't really think I have ever done that in a very long time. If a holiday is not working, that's fine. If a holiday is to be working from a swimming pool, then sure. But if a holiday is really not working and taking a break, I guess the messy middle is a great time to do that. I'm just incapable of doing it, I guess. I don't know if you guys can really take a break.
I used to look at that as working overtime weekends and not taking holidays as a badge of honor previously.
I don't. I'm taking it as a sickness.
Yeah, but I got to a point where I was like, I couldn't just move and I needed to take time off. It was a real thing. As much as I wanted to work, I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to. What
is time off? Like
get out of bed.
Stop checking your emails and.
I mean,
Slack,
like not
Discord, GitHub.
It's different now. I used to like constantly check my email, constantly just think about code and people and everything. I used to be like that, and I looked at that as a really like I was proud of it to an extent where I was just like telling people I'm working this much, and it's a sickness, as you said. But like I've gotten to a point where I couldn't do it anymore. And now what is rest? I'm like still. I need time to detach from work, like, I don't know, 2-3 days. and then get into the sort of relaxing mindset and think about other things. And it's really hard. I'm not saying it's easy for me to detach from work, but like I'll stop checking emails, or I'll just make sure there's someone else responsible or in charge to respond. I'll share with people that I'm not taking time off, not working upfront enough. Just to me, setting up the scene for me not to bother with work as much. But it's still hard.
Something else that comes to mind is actually, I think, to me, in the messy middle, that's a great time to find a co-founder, because if you can find someone who's working during summer, I'm going to take the counterpoint, but it's a good sign. Like, that's kind of it's like a self-selection. If you go in San Francisco during Burning Man and you meet someone who's like coding at a cafe, that's, to me, it's a great co-founder, potentially. Or someone at least I want to talk to.
For sure.
Because
I absolutely...
Or you can find your co-founder at Burning Man too, I guess. But I don't know. It's two different styles, I guess. It's interesting. You'll meet...
Yeah. I absolutely want to work. I absolutely want to spend more time doing things that I love. And I think in general, there's not a lot of time you have to like be... have this sense of urgency if you're a founder, if you want to work on something that will potentially help people. But again, you got to be aware of this things that are real, like the burnout.
Of course,
I couldn't believe before when I see someone, they were like, oh, I'm burnout for work. I was like, no, that's bullshit. But once you see it for yourself, it's actually real thing. So now I'm trying to intentionally balance and try to figure out what kind of days I can take off, or I don't know, chill a little bit, not just think about work.
I don't disagree with taking off. Sorry, let me just finish and then pass back to you, Gabriel. But to me, I guess the way I work is I work in cycle, and I feel like I feel there's this point where I've done an achievement, and that's when I'm like, well, fuck it, and I'm gonna slow down a lot. But like to be like, I'm burning, I have to stop while in the middle of climbing, the startup Everest is to me, it's like it never ends well, because then it's like giving up on the fight I'm taking. But I get what you say. Sorry, Gabriel.
Well, I think my interpretation of all of this and the way I do it is, my phone is my work. Like, I mean, I'm not an engineer, right? So, and my phone is always with me, so I'm always working. My examples, and we've had this conversation before, on my honeymoon, I was closing, if I remember, I was closing the deal with Citibank to do our SPAC, like on my honeymoon, right? And I'm in the messy middle, and I think I'm the only one here who doesn't have, a full-time, focus on a company. And this summer will be both excruciatingly scary, but also fun, because I can sleep in a little bit. But like last summer, Frank, you remember we were together last summer in Saint-Tropez, and we don't do the normal Saint-Tropez thing. We're not going to the beach and partying and, turning our phone off and saying,
we
call us next week. Yeah, we brainstorm. We were brainstorming.
Those are great vacations. I love those.
Yeah.
It's not vacation. It's work. For anyone else, it would be work. That's what I'm saying. It's like maybe what we call vacation to me is not vacation for the rest of the people. If you tell people like, hey, let's leave work and let's brainstorm by the sea, they'll be like, what the fuck? Sorry, I did it again. And even more in Europe. The thing I miss in the US is in the US, you talk about work all the time, and I love that. In Europe, you never talk about work. So to me, it's kind of awkward. I don't know what to talk about than that,
So I know the title of our episode. It's what the fuck, vacation? So we'll just do WTF, vacation, question mark?
Yeah. No, that's true. But
I feel guilty taking a holiday. I feel like
me too.
I've never actually done it where I've turned my phone off and said I am unavailable, even in the messy middle time period. And I would say as I've gotten older, I've taken more trips internationally, but I'm around. Like, and Nastia, my wife, she's like, if a call comes up in the middle, I will tell you the new thing that we've implemented, which was after we got married, which is during dinner, my phone goes away in her purse. So I'm not allowed to look at the phone, and that's the only time during the day or I'm sleeping. But like from a holiday perspective, where I see rejuvenation,
that's when you realize Sam Altman called you for a job in OpenAI. I was like, I'm sorry, Gabriel, you're not available, but it's just right now. I needed you to help me raise $1 trillion, but it's fine. I get you're busy. I'm like, no. Oh no. And then you'll never leave your phone ever again. I know, me
exactly.
too. But I just wanted to go back to one point, which is sorry, I'll finish your point. I thought you were done. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. So my point is, let's not say we're going on a true vacation where we're going to turn our phone off and go do ayahuasca or something. I don't know. It's like not our. It's not our.
No, but I could do that. I could plan the 3 days silent retreat, and then your seat and whatever, just sip water, which is fine. By the way, I love these things. All I'm saying is my way of taking holidays is I make an achievement, and after that I take a break. And so right now, I can't sleep right now because we're still waiting to close this extra cash, for the company.
Yeah.
And I'm like, as soon as that happens, I'll feel like so much more relaxed and I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to be like slowing down. Now we have cash, can hire people, give them stuff to do. But until then, like, it's hard for me. But as soon as it happens, yeah, sure. Like I can be, let's chill a little because now I'm good for the next year. But at the same time, again, I've got a weird process for my messy middle, right? Because I'm doing a startup and I'm trying to launch another one. So it's kind of a mini Elon play. For most people, they'll be me and they'll be, you're out of the messy middle because you already achieved your startup. But to me,
what do you guys think of like celebrations? Like you mentioned, Frank, you have to accomplish something and then take time off.
Yeah.
Are you for like celebrating these little wins every once in a while, or it's like entrepreneurship?
I bought my cigars, I've got my humidor, I've got everything ready. I watch it every day. It's above the TV, and I'm like, whenever that thing's coming, I will light my cigar, look at the sky, and be like, yeah, that's an achievement right there. I'll just meditate on it and be happy, tap myself in the back,
and then move on to the next thing,
and then maybe relax a little and be like, okay, but like if not, you forget to celebrate. I mean, at least for me, I'm like, I'm waiting for it. I'm like, just every day I'm waiting for this stupid email, and it's the wrong time for me to take holidays. Maybe it's why this podcast, I'm a little, would have that podcast right after we close the film. Like, yeah, let's do 2 months in Brazil.
Sure, 3 months.
Do absolutely nothing. It would be great. But yeah, no. And again, like on my end, I guess everybody has their messy middle style. So my style is I launch something, this way I keep busy, and I keep building things, but I've got other ideas. I want to do other stuff, but at least I'm not constrained by cash. But then you're constrained by your team, you're constrained by your investors, you're constrained by your co-founder, your customers, and all of that. So you're like,
you're running. You have another company that you're running. So it's let's be clear. There's a huge percentage of your brain that is focused on that, and that's okay. Everybody's got a different style. I mean, I
like that training though. I feel like it's a good training. It's like, if Elon can run 2 gigantic companies, I should be able to run 2 tiny ones, and like just a muscle you're working and figure out how that works. Because I like that lifestyle. I guess I'm more of an investor than an entrepreneur because I have a hard time focusing on one idea for 10 years. But I'm really good, I guess, at focusing on 5 or 6 things and pushing them in parallel and make them build a team and pushing stuff. But again, everybody is their style. So Gabriel and Teddy, maybe you can talk about your style of messy middle / break. How do you recharge whenever it's the summer season or whenever you need?
I mean, I'm looking forward to the summer for sure. I mean, it's my birthday. I'm turning 35 in July.
5 years from the crisis.
Yeah. Although, which crisis? The 40-year-old crisis or the 30-year-old crisis?
No, the midlife. That's 5 years.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Frank. So,
you still have 5 years to enjoy. It's a lot of rotation around the sun. You should take a lot of holidays.
Yeah. Well, I'll just ask you for your advice because you're 10 years older. So
I know. I'm way wiser. I'm trying to. You don't have to ask for my. I'm giving you, my wisdom for free.
So, take more holidays until 40.
I would say is I like to travel and I like to experience things internationally, and that's how I take a break. And my break is I'm still working, I'm still thinking about things, but that's kind of how I get my inspiration. And every messy middle, I've spent a lot of time in Italy. I spent a lot of time in Europe. That's why I do Techtalia, because it's a way for me to kind of experience it. Now it's kind of gotten messy itself because it's a lot of work.
We should put the link to Techtalia in the description, maybe if people wants to subscribe. Try.
Yeah, for sure.
This way we can meet you in real life.
Yes, we'll see if I'm more impressive in real life or on the podcast. I think in real life I'm better. So I'm honestly I'm looking forward to this summer because it'll be a nice reset, and through all of my last messy middles, my next idea came up pretty much after the summer. And I don't know if it's just a coincidence because of the timing of when things ended, but like I've tracked it. It's mostly after July.
It's going to be interesting to see if it happens again, and if it doesn't, I wonder if you would freak out or if you'll be like, "Oh, it didn't come this July." Maybe, I wonder if there's like a pattern. If there's a pattern, then you can definitely organize your messy middles. You'll be like, you know what? I'm not even going to try anything until July, and then you can enjoy your holidays.
It's either a pattern or, I mean, hopefully it's a pattern, but like that's what's happened the last 3 times. Like, started the SPAC in August, September 2020, started Gamma July 2017. Then prior to Gamma was Weave, where I helped Lars, and I met them August 2015.
I'm amazed you remember these things. Like to me, startups and like I guess people also, even my family, like I never remember any date. I have no idea when I started these things. Do you remember them, Teddy? Do you know which month you did all of? Yeah, neither. Yeah, it's really funny. Gabriel is like
some of those, okay. Yes, but I've never gotten to that point. Did you the ideas themselves? Did you have those ideas before like the summer? Can you figure out what the pattern is there, or was it when you meet those people?
I mean, Gamma. That idea just happened because we had a dinner, and my idea, I saw what was happening in crypto, so I had the idea I want to start something in crypto. With the SPAC, for like 6 months, I knew I wanted to do something where I'd raise a bunch of money, and I was reading about, and then now maybe there's something in AI. I think it's more of I just got to the point where I'm like, screw this, let me start something. It's the summer. I'd better go raise money at the end of the year, and cash is low. Let's go do this. That's what I think it really ends up being. Because you hit like the point of your birthday, and you're like, okay, well, I'm not getting younger.
Yeah.
So maybe that's your motivation, huh?
No. And like, I was gonna say also for any investors watching us, like actually your process worked because the people who invested like get their money back and more. So it's good. It's a good process for you.
Yeah, it works. I will say it works.
Yeah. To me, I think, I guess it depends. Like if I have one startup right now, it's kind of new for me to do two things at the same time. It's not, no, because I do that all the time. But again, my process is always about the co-founders. So got a bunch of ideas and I'm kind of fishing for who are the people I can work with who are really good. And whenever that happens, then I can pull the plug and do the test. So, I don't know, maybe I should try to just launch something alone. I guess now with AI, it's kind of exciting too. But I don't think I have a time pattern. I think it just happens whenever it's good.
Yeah. In my case, it's more like I'm working on exploring a couple different things in the same time. It's like moving slowly with a few different ideas or experiments. And it's 90% of that. And that's kind of me taking time off, jumping from one project to another. It's like change of scenery almost. You change of like different people even and different ideas. One is like AI, the other one would be learning about longevity, for example. So this is type of rest 90% of the time, but then there's this 10% where I want to either have like a day off or brainstorm elsewhere with people, which is also type of vacation. But I wonder for the summer, the upcoming summer now, and we talked earlier in this podcast.
Yeah, maybe we can be precise. Like what do you guys do this summer? What's your plan?
So that's what I want to say. Like we talked about moving to, like maybe the three of us, or I talked with Alex also, going to California, San Francisco Bay Area,
nice.
Spending time there. Isn't it late being there during the summer in terms of, like, I don't know, events in general? Back to what we talked about, people focus on work, disappearing, or maybe Silicon Valley. It's a different kind of place where you can always find someone. Is it worth it to go like now, or?
It's going to slow down, but there's always going to be people for sure.
In Europe, really? I mean, come on.
Not in Europe, in like, say, I don't know, Palo Alto, for example.
Okay, Palo Alto, yes, but I thought you were saying Europe. Sorry, was I not? Was I not paying attention there? So
yeah, Silicon Valley,
I'm already thinking about Saint-Tropez, walking the beach. Really funny if I come up with
Saint-Tropez is a good place to raise money, I guess. You know, at least you're surrounded with.
Well, I met what's his name last year, Xavier Neal. So, I met like 5 of the people that I also know from, actually, one of my sponsors for Techtalia. I ran into him last year, and he's like, "Oh, we've got this yacht party. Are you coming?" And I didn't get an invite, so I'm like, "No. I have a dinner." And that, Frank, that was that dinner that you were going out with your investors. And I just went to some pizza place with Nastia and basically cried. Because I'm like, Frank's going out to a dinner with investors, and this guy's got this yacht party that I can't
They should
crash.
come back. They'll come back in town this year. And I said we'll all go together, you know, for like something at Seneca or whatever. But
good.
Again, we're very lucky. We have a lucky life. But you know, whatever the people listening to, like, what, if they need any advice, I mean, we never have any advice. It's everyone for itself. It's entrepreneurship. But but again, like, all of you have different personalities, and maybe you're going to be closer to Gabriel, Teddy, or myself. But again, my point is, it's, I like the idea of organizing my life. So it's like you have a lot of freedom and you can do what you want. And even if it's at the cost of working, you know, a little bit more during a year or two.
Yeah.
But, you know, after that.
Yeah, I think what I will tell you about this messy middle that I'm currently going through is how it's different from the prior ones, and how I look at this summer and how I look at breaks and everything is, I feel like I'm taking advantage now of being more in this messy middle of ability to travel and take a break and give myself a little bit of slack, because once I figure out what the next thing is, I think I'm going to put the most effort into that than any of the prior projects, because I think it counts the most. I don't know, it's different than before. Before I was like, I want to build the biggest thing, I want to learn about this. This one I'm like, I just want to put the most effort into it. So if that means I have to relocate to San Francisco to build this startup and I'm not going to be able to travel as much, that's okay, because I was able to enjoy my summer. I was able to do this. And Frank, what you mean
That's
about
interesting, because I'm thinking about relocating to, not right now, I need to work a couple of things, but I'll definitely move back, I think, to the Bay Area or Texas, depending on what they're going to do with AI laws. But yeah, no, I agree. It's like...
so does it make sense to move to San Francisco over the summer? Back to my kind of question and thought? Or,
That's a great question.
Honestly, yes. I mean, summer is nice because at least it's not too cold, which is nice, because it gets really cold in September.
It's not cold. It's not cold in Palo Alto, but
yeah, I like Palo Alto better for the weather.
Yeah,
but summer slightly better. You can also go to Burning Man if you want. I guess you get the ticket, and if you like sun scratching your back. And meet like VC high on shrooms.
I didn't hear what you said because you said it too fast, and then my brain replayed the vision of it in my brain.
Yeah, that's what Burning Man's all about. Sand.
So Sam was scratching my back while my phone is in my wife's purse at dinner, and he's calling, and because we're all on mushrooms, he's like, "You didn't make the connection that $1 trillion raise was happening."
Yeah, the universe said it's not happening. It's a sign.
So a part of me is like, yeah, I should go to San Francisco this summer and just meet everybody. but I also want to go to Europe and have a good time. So,
and me, I still need to do my honeymoon, which either is going to happen in March next year or maybe, later October this year. March is because I'm thinking about Japan.
Okay.
Which would be nice. And I want to buy a home there also, so it would be cool to be like for the same price of a hotel. Maybe I can buy the full house. Or I guess the other thing is, whatever. I mean, I can work in remote, but at one point I'm definitely gonna try to figure out how to come to San Francisco with my wife. It's easy. I think the hardest thing is to bring the dog. So I need to figure that.
Which we heard earlier in this episode.
Yeah. Does he have a... Yeah, we did. Is our special guest today. Does he have an EU passport or not yet?
He has a passport. He has a Ukrainian passport.
He needs if he gets an EU one, it's very easy to travel to the States.
I don't know what he has. I'll figure that. But I saw an airline company just opened also, which allow you to travel with dogs.
He's so Henrik is. We should ask Henrik to come on the podcast. He's post-exit founder. He's the guy who created Bark and took it public.
Yeah, we should definitely interview him. It'd be cool.
Yeah, he's a character. So, and he's in Copenhagen. Oh yeah. And so,
I agree.
I think we beat.
Cool.
I think we beat this subject to death today. Teddy, you're the one who's got the quote.
I'll need time to figure that out. Quotes.
How much
time
summer. Do you need to figure?
I don't have
10 minutes.
Yeah. It took 20 minutes.
Close to me.
You could just do. It could be the Calvin Harris quote. I met you in the summer.
about your invent quote? We should shift to just Twitter.
To create
make up a quote. Say like holidays are like.
In summer's light, dreams ignite. Listen to this. It's a poem about the summer and entrepreneurship. In summer's light, dreams ignite. Entrepreneurs' hearts take flight. Ideas bloom, bold and bright, chasing goals from day to night. There you go.
Can't wait for the one about winter when all your dream crashed. In winter, everything perish. Cold is the night.
Okay. So
that's good. That's good. Great quote. It's a poetic quote.
Thank you, Teddy, for helping us end the podcast this week on a positive note.
Yeah, gonna step up your game with poems now, not quotes.
I mean, to be honest, like you're right. It feels pretty positive right now. Just the sun, everything feels like full of energy. It's crazy how much the sun influences you, for sure.
Yeah, take your vitamin D.
Indeed.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.